This is a real good reminder, I think, of why a lot of us like physical games and physical media, movies, maybe music. Some of us have kind of adapted, and certain things we're fine with on digital, some things we're not, kind of a mix. I ain't gonna lie, I've got a mix of media, both digital and physical, but my preference is typically physical when possible. If it's not outrageously expensive, right? Sometimes there's games like retro games or older games that are like a ton of freaking money, and it's just like, screw it, play it digitally through emulation or whatever. Preservation's a big thing. It's something that a lot of us talk about out there. Some people, I think, they put the historical aspect behind it. Like, it's significant. The history behind these games and whatnot, we have to preserve everything. I argue it's more about access, greed, selfishness. We just want to play these games. That's my stance. Like, at some point, none of this is going to matter. Let's just be honest with ourselves. But access, that's what a lot of us care about. I'm selfish. I want to play these damn games, right? But when it comes to current generation games like the Nintendo Switch, I haven't hacked my system. I'm not running anything. I'm just playing games legit. That's just the way I am till the lifespan is long gone. Maybe I'll consider modifying the system, hacking it, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, I buy my games. But just today, earlier, we saw like limited run. They have this clear out sale, right? I took a look at it. I know a lot of people don't even like bothering with limited run. That's fine. Whatever however you look at it. But I saw this pop up and I was like, what's going on here? They had this clearance sale on these specific games. And then Josh Fairhurst, that's what I saw. I didn't see the limited run post. I just saw this recommended to me where it was like, this is happening because our licenses to some of these IPs are expiring. So they have a last and final call for some of their most beloved games like Scott Pilgrim, Turok, Star Wars, and Bill and Ted. Prices drop by 10% daily until the 31st. Will you secure your copy now or wait until the deepest discount, right? Until it's like $10 or something. A lot of this stuff is sold out, but he talked about how the IP licenses are expiring, and the IP license, software license, they're separate things. So this does not mean others will be re-releasing these titles. Okay, fair enough. But then down here, I saw this response. Bill and Ted will be removed from sale before January 1st on all platforms. Yes, this means it won't be available to buy, but people will still be able to re-download it. That was in response to Spin Dash Greg here. What about the digital versions of the games she released, like Bill and Ted? I remember, just for shits and giggles, when that game came out, because just being honest, like why are we releasing games for stuff people don't want, right? But regardless of how I feel or anybody else feels, maybe somebody wants to play this damn game. I think the game is boo-boo, but hey, if you think it's cool and you wanted a copy in your collection, be it a physical edition or a digital one, hey, to each their own, right? It doesn't hurt that they made it, access to it. It's just kind of busting balls, make it fun. I bought the damn game. Like, I gave them my money, but I bought it digital though. Just like it was cheaper, right? And you had to wait a hell long time if you wanted a physical copy at that point. I believe the physical copies for the standard were like $35. A digital copy was like $8 or $10, something like that. And then those gold points on your Nintendo Switch, you can be getting games for like next to nothing or nothing if you have enough of them. But yeah, just because it's a game that a lot of people don't like or, bust balls about doesn't mean it's not significant, You go to Delisted Games, and I've referred to this site quite often in the past. They list all the games that have digitally been delisted, shut down, gone for good. And with limited run games, the way they do things, making games a limited run, hey, once that physical run is done, that's it, right? You can't just easily grab another copy unless you go to the secondary market and pay a markup. Typically, some games don't wind up having a markup. There's too many of them out there, little interest, that kind of thing. It just kind of depends, right? But okay, that's with any physical copy in reality. It just, some of these companies, limited run, and these other ones who make short print runs of games, they just wind up becoming a little more rare because they are limited, and it's just that company producing it. Sometimes limited run has games go to Best Buy. I think Bill and Ted went to Best Buy as well. But yeah, these companies, they make these games. They're not produced forever. Typically, it's a pre-order period, that kind of thing. But then, actual first-party games, third-party games that are not released through those companies that go into Best Buys, Amazon, that kind of thing, those things aren't produced forever either, right? But some games wind up being a little bit more accessible. But once they're long gone and you still have access to a damn store, you would hope, like, hey, maybe you ran across some. Maybe at some point in the future, you're like, you know what? I want to play that Bill and Ted on the Nintendo Switch instead of downloading it and playing it on an NES emulator, right? I don't freaking know. But it becomes a problem. You look at delistedgames.com. You can go by category, platform, Nintendo. Just take a look at Nintendo Switch games that have been delisted. 80 delisted Switch titles on the site. This includes retail games that were offered as download and eShop releases. Below each title and the companies it relates to. An asterisk in the title denotes a placeholder page that contains basic details. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that maybe you don't care about. Maybe somebody would. Who knows? But some of these ACA Neo Geo games, I had no freaking clue that these were delisted. Just take a look at this page for any console that you're interested in and look at the games that have been delisted. It is freaking ridiculous. Some of the titles you'll come across. Fitness Boxing. Why was it delisted? I remember buying a physical copy of that way back when it came out. Oh, is it because the company that made Fitness Boxing, they made a sequel and they didn't want you to buy the original anymore? Shenanigans, right? Shenanigans. I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. And then those like short period time games, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light. Oh my God. I don't like the way they went about that, but it is what it is. But there's a lot of games here. It'll Do Too. I know I've heard of that one before. Killer Queen Black. Why is that one delisted? That's crazy. Okay, Minecraft, the Nintendo Switch edition, that's been delisted. Minecraft Story Mode, Season 2's been delisted. And the Complete Adventure. There's a lot of stuff just delisted. And in some of these games that have physical copies, you go look for them. And they're freaking ridiculously priced on the secondary market because they're not out there anymore. Our beloved Pac-Man 99 is gone. It's gone. Boo-boo-ness. Pokemon Cafe Mix? Is what? Why would... I don't understand some of this stuff. But you just... Super Bomberman R Online, delisted. Oh my God. 3D... We know the shenanigans of Nintendo with all that. But besides that stuff, just look at all these other things. Troll and I think I remember seeing reviews for that one. It was boo-boo. But there's so much, man. This is why 40K Space Wolf... What? This is why I think physical media is important. Yeah, you're just buying a physical media and it's a license to access the game, but you could do with it as you please. Some of these games that get delisted, you still have access to them if you bought them before, but what about the future? Somebody else wants to buy them. You have to go through other means. It's crazy, IP, different license agreements, stuff like that. It's just something I thought, hey, we got to bring this up again. It's of my opinion, like, I know physical media can take up a lot of space, but man, you don't lose it. But there are a lot of games nowadays, like not necessarily for the Switch. There's a lot of stuff on the Switch that you just pop in and play. But other consoles, just like, hey, you got to download the game, install the game, that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's a whole different, like, you can go in different directions with all this. Physical media may not be the answer nowadays, but for certain consoles like the Switch, I think it is. I think it still is. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Bye.